All right, guys, part two. So I just kept binging and purging with food. And it went on until, oh God, I don't know, until I moved back after I graduated with my master's. I moved back to DC, to the Maryland, DC area. And I got a job working at the White House. I'll talk about all that another time. It was an amazing experience. Um, and so I was like, I gotta lose some weight because, of course, I didn't want to be so self conscious. When you're heavy, you're so self conscious in your clothes. And I'm in the White House, the highest position in the land. I'm working for a first lady, and so I went again. I started like I used to do. I went on a 10-day fast to just break the stronghold of eating and food and gluttony and all that. And it worked. And I lost a substantial amount of weight. I lost quite a bit of weight. And I was starting to feel good about myself. And so I met a guy, and I wasn't used to all the new attention I was getting, again, because at this point I was older. I wasn't, an 18 or 19-year-old in undergrad. I was now what, 18, 19, 21, 23, maybe 24, 25, in DC working and just living life. And I felt good. I looked pretty. And, but in my mind, see, that's the thing about trauma. It doesn't matter what this body on the outside looks like. Your mind is still going to operate based on trauma. And I always coin it the fat eye syndrome. And when I used to do a lot of motivational speaking and talking just about my journey with love, self-esteem, and all that, I talk about how the fat eye syndrome, many people who have been fat all their lives, and when they lose weight, they still, honest to God, you still see yourself in that mirror as fat. Now, let's fast forward to today. Eventually, I reached my ideal goal weight. Back in 2018, I reached my goal weight of 170 pounds, and I looked amazing, honey. Then freaking COVID hit, and I wasn't going to the gym every day, and next thing you know, I'm here today with 50 extra pounds on me. Now, part of me feels sad, depressed, mad as hell that I've gained these 50 pounds. But I have to say to myself, wait a minute, Angela, you're still not 318 pounds, and you know what you need and can do to lose the weight. So do it. So many times, especially when you're dealing with low self-esteem based on obesity, you have to talk yourself off that ladder, because for me, my sick brain will say, well, and my sick self-sabotaging brain will say, since you've already gained weight, don't even try. Just keep eating, or give up on yourself, or be sad and depressed. But the right way to handle it, and for those of you all who you suffer from this, I'm talking to you too, you have to encourage yourself and say, I may not be where I used to be as far as with my ideal goal weight, but I'm not where I was before I lost weight. You understand? Because you got to find a silver lining in the midst of your trials and tribulations. That's how the depression, it beat me down for years. So for years, I went through the ups and downs of losing 100 pounds, gaining 100 pounds, losing 100 pounds, gaining 100 pounds. One time at my thinnest weight, when I was in my late 20s, I was honored enough to, some woman found me, and she scouted me and wanted me to model. And I loved it. Like, I always wanted to be a model. And even though, and the thing was, I still wasn't like paper thin, but I was still very thin enough that I could be considered a plus size model. But plus size wasn't like real fat and heavy. It was just more voluptuous. And so I did that for a little while. And then I participated in the Miss Plus USA pageant. What year did I do that? I don't know. I still was in my 20s, at that late 20s, I believe. Yeah, I definitely was in my late 20s. And it was a great experience. I felt beautiful, but was still very self-conscious. And I was probably a size 12. And for me being 5'9", I was probably a 10, 12. It looked amazing on me. And so as I got older, how did being fat affect my choices? Well, of course, it affected my self-esteem. I made choices out of fear, rejection, and not self-worth. But a big area it affected was dating. One is because, honestly, let's be honest, y'all. Now it has changed a little bit because of all this fat acceptance. But when I was younger, being fat in your 20s, it limited your choices in dating many times. A lot of brothers weren't open to thicker sisters. Or what I've seen now is the very men that used to turn me down when I was big and in my 20s. When they see me now, because I'm not as big as I was and because I'm older and beautiful, I mean, I'm not saying that to, to flex, because I ain't the prettiest woman in the world, but I know I ain't ugly. They coming on to me. And many of their wives was bigger than I was back then. It's just like in high school. You go to high school, y'all, and I'm telling, this is for y'all teenagers. You teenage girls who are fat right now, let me tell you something. Something's going to click in you, and you're going to get out there, and you're going to exercise, you're going to lose weight. And one day you're going to go to your 20-year class reunion, and all them cute little skinny classmates you had who were skinny back then, they're going to be fat, and you're going to walk in there looking fabulous. Because I have experienced that. So believe me, the tables quickly turn. Those same men who rejected me because I wasn't skinny, and they married them beautiful thin wives, now them women big as a house. Okay. So being heavy, my regret is that being an overweight woman, it does impact your self-esteem, your dating. I don't care how all this fat acceptance is. Listen, y'all, at the end of the day, and I don't care if I get canceled for saying it, your choices are more limited when you are a fat woman. I don't care what you say. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. Yes, there are a lot of men who like big women, but the majority of men, and those, quote, the ones you say high value, are not marrying no obese women. And I don't care how pretty her face is. It's just what it is. And also, it affected my life opportunities. Many times I wouldn't take advantage of choices. When I first started working in the political field, because of my weight and I was so self-conscious, I didn't carpe diem. I didn't seize the day on different opportunities. Because I was so self-conscious, I was just obsessed with my weight. It was just an obsession, and it was a horrible obsession because I hated myself, and I felt like the only answer to me being free was to be thinner. And my regret, and I beg you all today, and ladies, I don't care what you say to me, it's the truth. I'm not telling you to be paper thin either, but life is easier when you are more fit and in shape. I'm not going to say skinny. When your body, based on your muscle and mass, your BMI, is at a healthier range than when it's not. I don't care what you say. I've lived it. I'm telling you what I know. I'm a 53-year-old woman who has gone at the highest weight of 318 pounds. Then I got to the lowest weight of 170. And now I'm where I need to, I have gained 50 pounds, so I'm going to lose it. But I'm telling you, life is easier as a woman when your body is in shape. It's just the truth. I don't care if you have 12 PhDs. Unfortunately, even the Bible says man, when it says man, mean mankind. Man looks at the outward appearance, but God looks at the heart. Don't you buy a car based on what it looks like? Stop telling me people aren't superficial. We are superficial. You buy a house based on what it looks like. You buy clothes based on what it looks like. So you're going to invest in a relationship based on what that man and or woman looks like. You all are so turned on by Idris Elba. Come on now. You're going to take Idris or Biggie? Come on. Let's be 100% with this, y'all. Stop being unrealistic. The reality is, at the end of the day, as a woman, you will get more play, more attention if you are more in shape. Bottom line. And that is my biggest regret, that in my teens and 20s, I did not put more emphasis on my physical health and weight. Because had I wouldn't have settled with certain men, giving my body away just to feel beautiful, laying with a man just because I knew I wanted to lay with someone knowing good and damn well he really didn't want me because of my weight. I would have been more of a go-getter, even though I am. It didn't stop me, but I would have been more fearless. And I wouldn't have dealt with this bulimia and low self-esteem and stinking thinking. So I want to encourage you young women today. I'm sorry, but you got to put your health first. That's my biggest regret, that I did not do it. Yes, beauty may get you in the door, but your brilliance and your mind will keep you there. But at least you want a fighting chance to get in there, okay? So please learn from my mistake. I'm 53 now. I got my man and everything, but I'm still going to lose these 50 pounds. I'm not 318, but I'm damn sure not where I want to be again. Y'all be blessed. Thank you for following me. Continue to like, share, and subscribe. Talk to you soon. Bye.